Imagine this future. It's the end of your workday. You hop in your self-driving car, which already knows where you're headed. A tiny disk in your pocket buzzes. You have an incoming call. Projects an image of your physician's receptionist. She says she's calling to confirm your appointment for your annual physical. You start to greet her, but then you smile to yourself because you know you aren't talking to a real person. You are talking to the artificially intelligent holographic projection of your doctor's scheduling software. The AI algorithm tells you that she already has most of your vitals because your smart clothes have already transmitted this data. She informs you that the sensor in the left shoe of your favorite pair is malfunctioning. You confirm the appointment and end the call. You have another call. Your wife appears with good news to share. Her AI assistant informed her that a couple in the area recently announced on social media that they were expecting their second child. Her AI assistant suggested that this couple was 78% more likely to buy life insurance, 63% more likely to buy a home, and 56% more likely to buy a self-driving minivan. Within 30 minutes, your wife had sold them an umbrella insurance policy. It was a good day. She asks you if you've started dinner already. You smile, press a button on your connected car, and you say, "Hey Alexa, start dinner." After all, your Amazon Prime Whole Foods delivery via drone will only take 10 minutes to reach your home. Sounds far-fetched? It's not. This technology exists today. The future is already here. My name is Kartik Sakthivel, and I serve as the Vice President and Chief Information Officer of the largest and oldest insurance industry non-advocacy trade association in the world. I've been in information technology for over 2 decades. I've seen a lot of change, and I'm here to tell you that the 21st century will belong to those of us brave enough to learn, unlearn, relearn. To learn means to learn a new way of doing something. To unlearn means to forget about what you have just learned. And to relearn means to know that what you have just learned will also someday be obsolete. And keep up. Just like that. That means getting rid of our hardwired old ways and reprogramming ourselves with new information. Adopting, adapting, and reinventing ourselves for the technological era that we live in. Let me tell you how I spent my 40th birthday a few years ago. Most people have a large party to celebrate this milestone. I spent my 40th birthday overseeing layoffs for a large global company that was attempting to reinvent itself in the technological era. The most difficult part of an already difficult day was to tell a man that I admired and respected deeply, a man who started working at this company a year to the month that I was born, that he was being let go. He knew the business better than most, but had not kept up in learning new technologies, new ways of doing things. Maybe from inertia, maybe from fear of the unknown, complacency due to being in a comfort zone. Getting close to retirement age, maybe he didn't think he had to. Now let me tell you the story of one of my best friend's mothers. We got to talking when I took a recent trip to New York City, where they both live. She started telling me about her new job title as a lead technology enabler. "What does your work involve?" I asked her cautiously, because I've always known her to be a clothing template designer, a seamstress by trade. Had she suddenly switched careers? Nope. Unlike the colleague that I had to let go, she was just brilliant at keeping up. When she started her career 45 years ago, it was all manual. Markers, measuring tape, scissors. Then came machining, and she learned how to augment her job using machines. Next, it was computer-aided design, and she taught herself how to do the work on the computer and let the machines do the rest. A few years ago, she started becoming the mentor to younger employees coming into the industry because they could do the work on the computer, but they lacked her practical experience to be able to discern flaws in the templates. She tells me she expects to be learning artificial intelligence algorithms before she finally retires. I cannot wait to hear more. She takes me on a fascinating journey. Imagine walking into Men's Warehouse tomorrow. You're presented with an iPad of suits to choose from. You select a suit and walk in front of a bunch of artificially intelligent cameras, like the setup they use to scan you at the airport. The AI cameras measure your height, your weight, your gait, your body type, etc., and can customize a suit for you with no human intervention required. When I shared this story with a female friend, her reaction was, I wonder if they can do the same thing with bathing suits. I don't think any of us are going to miss those cold dressing rooms and that oh-so-flattering fluorescent lighting. What is the difference between my friend's mother and the colleague that I had to let go? Both are the same age, smart, capable. But one of them adopted, adapted, and reinvented herself, while the other only made incremental progress in what he knew best. I am here to encourage you, whether you're 22 or 62, to make sure you future-enable your own careers so that that doesn't become your story. All of this access to technology is forcing us to evolve, challenging us. Technology is ubiquitous and pervasive. How fast are we moving? These are the most popular consumer electronic products in 1998, just slightly over 20 years ago. The cordless phone, the color TV, the VCR, the fax machine, the pager, just to name a few. This is what all of these products look like just 20 years later. Everything that you have just seen, all of the platforms that you have just seen, have been significantly bettered and encapsulated into something that you slip into your pocket and that 100% of you own. If I asked everyone here who has a smartphone with them on person, that number would likely be 98%. With 1% of you having forgotten it in their car, and the other 1% having multiple phones with them on person. Technology is ubiquitous and pervasive in everything that we do. And the past 20 years are a barometer of where we are headed. This is every minute on the internet. Today, we take more photos in a single day than we ever have since the invention of the camera. We spend 18.1 million text messages every single minute on the internet, with 46 million via other means. We send 188 million emails every single minute, 2.1 million Snapchats, and 1.4 million swipes on Tinder. Every single minute. That's the most popular Snapchat filter of all times. I personally don't get it, but to each his own. Maslow's new hierarchy of needs is food, water, and Wi-Fi. Probably just Wi-Fi, because if you had Wi-Fi, Amazon can prime you food and water on the same day. How far have we come? We are technology-driven, even if we are not technologically native like Generation Z. That is, everybody born after 1996. Everybody born after 1996 have been born into a generation where technology is consistent with everything that they do. 20 years ago, information technology was an escape from reality. Today, reality is an escape from technology. We unplug. 20 years ago, that would have a completely different connotation. So what does this mean for us? Do we just hang it up and move to a farm in Vermont and grow our own vegetables? I hate to break it to you, but in the future, even farms in Vermont will have robots for that. All of this technological change causes us, we tend to resist change and we tend to resist progress. But that's not new. like this commercial that appeared in a newspaper in the early 1900s, urging consumers to think twice before you discard your horse and purchase an automobile. The technological progress, the resistance to change, the aversion to technology has provided us instructive case studies from the corporate world. Everyone remembers Blockbuster, Be Kind, Rewind. I miss the act of heading to the Blockbuster store on Central Ave in Dover and spending hours there while my wife, then girlfriend, decided what she did not want to watch. Did you know Blockbuster had two opportunities to purchase Netflix? First, when they started mailing DVDs, and next, when they started streaming video. The concept fundamentally of how to do business has changed. Netflix is the world's largest movie house, but owns no cinemas. Facebook is the world's largest content owner, but owns no content. Uber is the world's largest taxi company, owns no taxis. Airbnb, same thing with properties. You get the idea. These companies did not exist 20 years ago. Think about that. They are technology companies at the core with other products and services. You know who embraced change? These guys. Apple. Reinvented themselves. This is the cover of Business Week in February of 1996. The fall of an American icon heralded the death of Apple Computer. 22 years after that was published, Apple became a $1 trillion company. $1 trillion. So what does this mean for us? Does that mean we need to hang it up and move to Vermont? No. Change is constant. Technological change is constant. And we need to adopt and adapt and reinvent ourselves. Learn, unlearn, and relearn. Research indicates that 50% of American jobs are subject to being disrupted. 50%. And that's based on technology that we can envision today. If you're a surgeon and you think you're impervious, maybe. But what happens when the most common surgical procedures are performed by a robot? What would happen if a surgeon in Japan is remotely operating on a patient in America? Wouldn't you want to be the surgeon in America remotely operating on the patient in Japan? Same thing holds true if you're a teacher or a hairdresser. Are these two fantastical? I don't think so. If you own a landscaping company, I can go up the street today and purchase an outdoor lawnmower, like an outdoor Roomba, for less than $1,000. So how do we learn, unlearn, and relearn? How do we adopt, adapt? Here are 4 tips to future enable our own careers. Number 1, adopt a change is inevitable mindset. We must shake off any possible sense of complacency and accept that there is no job, none, that cannot be eliminated. Technology will continue profoundly transforming your workplace. So make the time to learn about new technologies if it is a part of your job. There are a slew of online courses and YouTube videos available on generally most all technological topics that you seek to educate yourself on. Number 2, understand your industry needs. Turn to technology yet again to inform you what possible directions your profession and your industry can take. If you go to Google right now and search up future of insert profession here with technology, you will have a slew of visionaries and online folks opining on what they foresee. Let this inform you on what specifically you need to be aware of in your field. Number 3, be proactive. Be like my friend's mother. Understand how technology can be leveraged to augment your job or improve the productivity of your organization. if you're currently selling cars, you might want to leverage digital technologies to automatically alert you of couples in the area that are expecting a second child and automatically promote a minivan to them. And last but not least, leverage the human. Now, this sounds paradoxical, but communication, collaboration, bringing people together, teamwork, these are all inherently human traits. At least for now, this is not something that robots can replicate. Do not ignore cultivating your soft skills. Case in point, behind me is an image of Microsoft Tay. Microsoft developed Tay in 2016. Tay was supposed to be an artificially intelligent chatbot that learned from the internet and started posting on Twitter. It was supposed to emulate a human teen. Tay was supposed to self-learn and continually learn. It's all good until Tay self-learned from the internet to be extremely racist and xenophobic in less than 24 hours. Microsoft had to take offline and publicly apologize. The point is, you still need human beings discerning the algorithms that fuel AI. For a brief moment, Tay was the most offensive thing on Twitter. Technology is the present, and more importantly, it is the only future that we have. There is no uncrossing of this Rubicon. We have crossed the point of no return. We need to be the creators of our future and not the products of our past. And the only way to thrive in this brave new world is to adopt, adapt, and embrace. Learn, unlearn, and relearn. Thank you.